Hello and welcome to Cyber Tip Tuesday. This is Kristin Judge from the team at Cybercrime Support Network. We hope you're having a wonderful day. This week marks CSN's second annual Red Hearts, Red Flags campaign, because Valentine's Day is Sunday, February 14th this month. If you haven't gone out and gotten that special someone a gift, you might want to think about doing that soon. So I want to talk to you about romance scams because it is something that is really taking off, especially during COVID, as more and more people are looking to find love online. But I want to talk to you a little bit about what red flags that you can look for to see maybe are you in the middle of a romance scam, and then how do you recover if you've been involved. So first, let's start by defining what is a romance scam. So many of them start just like any type of romance starts nowadays, a lot of them online. They say in the research that about 15% of the profiles that you find on a typical dating site are scammers, 15%, which can be thousands and thousands of scammers. So someone will connect with you or you'll connect with them. You'll both swish right or whatever that may be. I'm not on Tinder, obviously. And you are supposedly really hitting it off, and they'll pretend to be someone that they're not. So it could be a complete fake persona, or they tell you who they are and they just pretend that they really love you and they have such romantic interest in you. But then once they gain your trust, they try to obtain legal or financial benefits that benefit them and take away from you. So these scammers, we find some of them have been caught and they've had this huge illustrious ring of scammers that are making a ton of money. And what we'll find is that they may be courting or dating 100 people at a time, telling them, professing their love, saying, oh, you know, you're the one for me. We have so much in common. And then if even just 2 or 3 of those people give them money, they're making a lot of money. So this is the #1 issue, romance scams, that people visit fraudsupport.org for to get help. That's our website that helps you learn how to report, recover, and reinforce your security. So how prevalent is this? I know we're seeing it on our website as the #1 thing people come to visit, but the FBI put out an article today that shared in 2020, of the people who reported romance scams to them. So this is not all of the people who have been impacted, but the ones who reported to the FBI, 23,000 people reported. And of those 23,000 people, they lost over $605 million. That's a lot of money coming out of the US economy. So this is just US victims reporting to the FBI. And if probably only 10% of the people report, that number could be 9 times higher. So these numbers have almost tripled since 2015. How come? It's very lucrative. The bad guys are making a lot of money. So we need to make sure that people in our lives understand that this is something they can watch out for. And there's red flags that can help them decide whether or not they're in a real relationship or not. So the FTC also reported in 2019, there was nearly a 40% increase in losses from 2018 to romance scams. So of the people that report to the FTC, some report to the FBI. So we really don't know the true numbers of people being impacted here, but we know it's a lot, and we know it's something that's very emotional and financially scarring. So what do you have to look out for? Some of the red flags for most of these scams, they'll profess their love or strong feelings to you very quickly. So you've been in an online relationship, you've never actually seen the person on video, you've been text messaging or sending chats through a dating site, and very quickly they're in love with you. They also claim usually to be in another country, maybe for business or military service, so they can't quite get to meet you in person. There's always some reason why they can't get to you right now. And they try and ask you to get off of the dating site by giving you their personal phone number or email address, because they'd rather talk to you there where it can't be monitored or tracked by the dating sites. Then the sad stories come, the hardship. They have a claim they need money for emergencies. Maybe someone in their family has COVID and we can't pay the hospital bills, or my sister's going to be kicked out of her housing because she can't pay her rent because she lost her job, or I need medicine or surgery before I can leave where I'm living and come and marry you. There's always some kind of an urgent, sad story that requires money. And they say they plan to visit you, but something always comes up, or you need to help pay for the plane ticket for them to get to you. Or their car broke down if they're in the US, but they live across the country, they can't get to you unless you help them pay to get their car fixed. One of the things that is clear in all of these scams is they ask you to give them money. If there's one thing we can say to you is, unless you are in a long-term relationship with someone you have been in the same house for, with, on many physical dates with, have a ring on your finger, or a man who's given a ring to someone, unless it's, you know, for sure this is a serious long-term committed relationship, you shouldn't be sending people money. If you haven't sat down with them, don't give someone money that lives far away that you haven't been able to be with in person. They always have a lot of excuses why they can't show up, or why they can't send you more photos, why they can't use video chat. Because if they use video chat, you would most likely see that they don't match the picture that they gave you or the profile that they have on Facebook. So the profile that you read on the dating website or on their social media site may not match everything that they tell you, or you found other profiles using the same photos with different information. So we've talked to some folks who have lost someone in the military, and the veteran that was lost in the military, their picture could be used on thousands of sites. And there's even some military folks who are currently still with us, and their picture is being used all the time, the same picture over and over again. So there's something you can do about looking up a reverse image search. We'll talk about that too. So when they do send you messages, many times the criminals are living in another country, and they may not have English as their first language. So they may be poorly written and inconsistent. Sometimes it could seem like they're not really connecting with you, because when they write something, it seems quick and a little bit off. It could be because they're sending the same response to 100 people at one time, and they could get distracted. So long story short, if someone's asking you for money while you're dating and you've never been on an actual date with them, it's probably a scam. Now, if you think you have been involved in one of these scams, we want you to figure out, how can I recover from this? So if you want to, first of all, check to see, am I in the middle of a scam? Go to ScamSpotter.org, and we have some great resources there for you to see, is this one for real or is it not for real? And many times we have family members who say, this is happening to my adult mother or my adult father. I'm an adult child of this family member, and I can't get them to understand that this is a scam. That's part of why we created ScamSpotter.org for you. Sit down with them and take a look at that site together, and maybe they'll, see some of those red flags. Once you or someone you care about realizes that you've been involved in a romance scam, it's important to stop all contact with the scammer. It can be a very emotionally difficult step, because recovering from a romance scam is like a breakup. You really were involved with this person in your heart, but you have to make sure that you stay secure personally and that they can't contact you anymore. Block them on all accounts they could use to potentially reach you. You may be contacting or talking with them on all kinds of different social media, or if your social media is open to anyone contacting you, they'll find you even if you haven't used that one before. So make sure that you block them. Reach out to friends and family members, or a counselor, or someone in your religious groups that can help you and support you in this process of recovery. It is like a recovery from a real relationship being lost. And it might even be worse, because you may not then have the money that you did before you got into this relationship. Many times, if someone is retired, they can give away their entire life savings. And if they're at a certain age, they may not be able to recover that because of not being able to work. So next, you need to report your financial losses. You should close any compromised accounts as soon as possible, and freeze your line of credit if at all possible. Report to the individual dating site that you found someone. A lot of times people will meet these scammers on Facebook or on Twitter, or on sites like Match.com, wherever it may be. But yesterday's blog that we did here at CSN has reporting links for the different dating sites, because we want you to report it so that those dating sites can take that information down. So find the blog in our comments below that Taryn is sharing here. So I hope that this Valentine's Day is a positive one for you, and you have a lot of love in your life, and you are a little bit smarter now about what is a romance scam. And I want you to know too that some of the smartest people, in the world can also be a victim of a romance scam, because it's more about our heart. So don't feel badly if you have been a victim of a romance scam. It can happen to any one of us. The scammers are really good. If you have had an issue with any other cyber crimes, you can visit fraudsupport.org for more ways to report and recover, and then reinforce your security after you have been impacted by cybercrime. So be sure to follow along with us on the Red Hearts Red Flag week, and it's hashtag Red Hearts Red Flags. And you can check out all of the great information that our marketing team has been putting out. We'll be sharing romance scam content throughout the week on all of our social media platforms. And I actually have a really cool Cyber Threat Thursday coming up this week with some really special guests. So you'll want to tune in then. Again, I'm Kristin Judge from the Cybercrime Support Network. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of your Tuesday with us, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.